İyi akşamlar. İnşallah herkes iyidir. Benim ismim Aigerim. This is my way of showing off that I know Turkish. When I say I know it, I really study Turkish language. And what I just said is just good evening, ladies and gentlemen, my friends. And I was asking how are you? I don't have to translate every word, but the main point is that when I learned Turkish, I learned it in my high school for 4 years. 4 years. And then I kept learning it through watching movies, reading books, and blah, blah, blah. So since the high school passed like 10 years, and I'm still learning it. I don't know it perfectly. Again, when I learned English, I again started from the high school. I spent more than 8 hours learning it, and still improving it and learning it. So when the time came for me, when I decided to add one more language, like not to be perfect in it, so I decided to learn Italian. And I was thinking, how can I learn it? So when I also learned that there are around the world, can you believe it? 1.2 billion people was trying to learn foreign language. And I am one of them. And I thought, isn't there a better way of learning language rather than going to school? Which I cannot do right now. I'm already 28. And I can, of course, hire a tutor, which is possible, but it's really not possible in Atral. As I know, there's only 1 or 2 tutors and really expensive, and I would spend much more money on it. And there's an option was that my husband used to do it for 10 years, learning English through books, videos, watching TVs, and actually asking, communicating with other people. But this seemed too long, again, 10 years for Italian language, one more language that I would not be perfect, again, spent 10 more years. So I remember one thing. If I remember, I told you some of you that Kambad learned Spanish language in 2 years through using the mobile application called Duolingo. Have you ever heard of it?
Yes, I use it actually.
Yes.
Duolingo.
Duolingo. Yes. The free application existing since 2011. Yes, it has been created by the US-American professors, Carnegie Mellon, and his students. Basic idea is to teach you language through like playing games. You will have a better interface, you will have step-by-step exercises to learn it. You have an exercise to fill the gaps. You have an exercise to actually record your audio speaking of the sentences, and it will check is it correct, your pronunciation or not. It's really good, actually. It's really easy, fast. You can make your schedule 50 minutes per day. Yes? But the fact came in when I was thinking, yes, it's good. It gives you easy learning. It has a user-friendly interface. What else it has? Like it has different levels for different users. You can start as a beginner. You can start as an intermediate. But the fact came in when I asked myself, is it effective? Is it really effective to learn a language through Duolingo? Is it actually possible? I found an article of another guy, American guy, who learned French in 2 years. Again, same example as Kambad. And he didn't know French at all, 0. And after 2 years of practicing, he learned French and he can talk as a medium level French speaker. And then I said, this is not enough. I read so many articles about it, so many comments and feedbacks. And what I noticed is that 7 out of 10 people would say, yes, this is great. I learned language. But it wasn't enough. I needed some statistics, more detailed facts. So what I did is I found it finally. There is a professor, again, from a New York university, who made a research on it, and they found out that learning a Spanish language in 1 semester, which totally like 130 hours, if you think about it, like from 4 to 5 months knowledge, would be spent only 34 hours if you learn it through Duolingo. So what they did is that they asked 200 students to volunteer to use a Duolingo for 2 months. And first of all, they have to take the initial test, Spanish test, to know their levels. And then they would take that same test after 2 months, after they learn the Spanish language. So the result was really confidently successfully. Why? Because it turns out of 200 participants, 95% improved their test result by 100 points. By 100 points. It means people who didn't know Spanish language improved their Spanish language to the medium level. So instead of spending a month, like 5 months, learning one language, you would spend 2 months, 34 hours, using Duolingo and have the same knowledge. I said, wow, great, I can do it. Especially when I heard that Yuri has done it again in 2 months. But another argument came in. Of course, they had this test, but this test didn't include speaking test. So it had writing, it had listening. As you know, the effective language, what does it mean? Being able to listen, being able to read, being able to write, as well as speak. So there are all 3 parts, but not the speaking test. And then there was an argument, counter-argument, saying that since they didn't have a speaking test, it's not fluent, it's not good, so we should stop using the Duolingo. It's not a good tool to use for learning foreign language. And then I was thinking, what can I found a counter-argument for that? And I found myself, when I studied English here for 4 years, I had really good English actually, but I didn't have fluency. I do remember when I went to US and I tried to understand what they say and I didn't understand. And I tried to talk something and I said, what was that? And thinking, remembering that for 10 minutes before I start talking in English. And it is considered of my knowledge of 4 years of high school knowledge in English. I went to US and I still cannot talk in English. And I understand now is the fluency of any language, it's not about the knowledge you know, it's not about the grammar you know, and it's not even about the vocabulary. It's about how you use all of those knowledge and do you actually practice it in everyday life? Do you actually talk to native speakers? Do you use it in everyday life? So my fluency got improved only when I went to US, only when I started listening to it every day, only when I started reading it, and only when I started speaking in that language. So in my opinion, Duolingo is the best tool for now as a mobile application that is free, easy to learn, as well as effective to be able to know that language in a level that you can speak as a medium level speaker in any foreign language. But it's not, it shouldn't be isolated tool because it doesn't explain you the grammars. So the best way is to use some other tools to learn the grammar in details, but use the Duolingo also. Now, the bonus information for every one of you. Duolingo has been created not only as an English teaching tool, but it's also useful for globally. What do I mean by globally? While you are practicing English or Spanish in anything, there are exercises to translate from one sentence to another language. While you are translating, you're actually translating the website contents. So the idea was to translate all the websites into different major languages for free through using millions of users of Duolingo. So while you're using Duolingo, you're not only learning English, but you're also actually helping around the world to translate the web content to many major websites. Languages actually, yes. So yes, enjoy, use it, learning, and play it.